Hi everyone, Ravenstar here. Now I'm just doing a quick video to show you what came in the mail today. Now what's in this box is pretty cool. I've been waiting for this for a while. I actually got one of the games from the Atari Dig site. Now if you're not familiar with the Atari Dig site, well, right after the crash, the great video game crash of 1983, Atari took a whole bunch of games and consoles and stuff, and drove them out to a landfill in Alamogordo, New Mexico, and just dumped the stuff down there, which is crazy. I mean, that would never happen nowadays. I mean, you'd be able to sell Atari games, even if it was just $1, they would get some of their money back. It was ridiculous that they just destroyed them. I was still buying Atari games in 1983. I would have loved them. But no, they just drove them out there and dumped them, and they were dug up in 2014. Well, about 1,300, give or take, were taken out of the landfill, and several of them were sold on eBay, and I was able to get one of those. I think there's about 880, 81, something like that were sold on eBay. So this is one of them. Now, a lot of people thought, well, it was all all ET cartridges, when in fact it was, yeah, ET was there, but there were a lot of many different kinds of Atari games that were just dumped. So let's take a look at which one I have. Now, I wasn't able to get ET. Those are more expensive. But okay, here's my game that I got. It was really well packed. And the paperwork. Now, all of the ones that were sold have a certificate and a little plaque with a number. They've all been, since it was an archaeological dig, sort of, they made sure everything had a number and was photographed. So let's take a look here. Here's the actual game. It's probably in pretty bad shape, of course, after being buried since 1983. The game I got, can you see? Warlords. I got Warlords. It's in not too bad shape. I'll take that out in just a second. Let's look at the paperwork. Okay. It's hard to do this with one hand. I don't have good equipment or anything like a lot of people. Okay. Here we are. Oh, this came out too. Alright. Paperwork that came with each one that was sold. Came with paperwork. Oh, it looks like the number of mine is 8794. Okay. So each one came with a flyer for the city of Alamogordo, New Mexico. They all came with that. And a nice story, a written story about the dig itself. So I'll have to read that. It looks really cool. There are a lot of videos if you're interested in the different games that were sold. There's a bunch out there, a whole bunch of videos. I've watched one on the Defender and that people got. Here's a copy of a newspaper clipping about the dig. That's very nice. So what I'm going to do is actually put these in a, shadow box frame and display it. So I'll put that all together. I'll make a collage. Okay. Well, where's my certificate? That's got to be down here. This one here. There it is. This is the important part. Certificate of authenticity. City of Alamogordo, New Mexico. Atari game is Warlords. There's the serial number. Oh, look, it was signed by Howard Scott Warshaw. Very neat. And the mayor. It's a pretty nice little certificate. Yeah, I'll definitely put that in the shadow box as well. Okay, let's take a look at the game. Now I hear they're going to be really, quite stinky. So this one looks like they double bagged it. Okay, get some of this packing out of the way. Okay, there it is. Warlords. And there's the metal tag that matches the certificate. Okay, I'm gonna take it out. Gosh, I need 2 hands. There we go. Oh, still has 1983 dirt on it. I can feel it. Oh, wow. It does smell. It sure does. It stinks. I am going to have to put that in a sealed container when I put it in the shadow box for sure. Okay, it's a metal tag. Wow, look at that. Warlords. I had this game in 1983. See, the cartridge is still in there. It doesn't feel squished. Oh no, it's hard to see in there. Pretty cool, I guess. If you're an Atari geek like me, this is really exciting. But I'm sure a lot of you would be like, "You're an idiot." Oh well. Well, I love it. I think it's great. And it's a great piece of video game history. Okay, we're back. All right, well, I went out to try to find the perfect shadow box for my my Atari Dig Site game and the certificate, and I found this shadow box here, but actually my friend gave it to me, but it's just not thick enough to hold the game, unfortunately. So I'll have to use that for something else. But I did go to Michael's and I found this larger one here. It is definitely thick enough and it is bigger, so I'm able to hold quite a few other things as well as the great certificate here that I put in a nice mat here to display it a little bit better. I put the game into one of the little boxes that you can get from Retro Protection. I sealed it up really good because remember that game does stink, so I can't smell a thing at all anymore. I think it's sealed pretty well in there. There's the little plaque that has the number that matches their certificate. Okay, then I made a perler bead ET to put up there. You know, just different textures and stuff to put in here to make it look pretty nice. Over here is the Blu-ray of the documentary of the Atari Dig. So if you haven't seen that, I mean, it's amazing. If you're watching this, you probably saw the documentary. And then up here, you know, I did get a bunch of papers in with this Atari game from the dig site, and I couldn't really display all of the pictures. It's not really necessary to display all of the papers that came with it as well. So I took a copy of one of the front of the papers and put it up here. You know, that makes a nice little thing explaining a little bit more. And a little shovel. I got that from Michael's, the shovel there. Okay, and down here are just some pictures that I found on the web of, you know, certain scenes from the dig. See, there's a Warlords there. Some of the machinery and some guys taking pictures of what they found. And some more games that were just dug up. Pretty interesting. Now I first took those pictures and it looked kind of dull just having a picture there. So I made my own mat out of construction paper, you know, that you would see in the craft area. There's some cactus pattern, which I thought would be neat. And the gold matches, you know, the gold in there. And I made, just put the mats around the pictures itself. So it makes it pop a little bit better because it's all black. Now also about this background here, this is a felt, squishy felt. So I had a bunch of trouble attaching these on here. You know, if it were just a flat cardboard surface, it'd be quite easy. So I'm like, well, how am I going to attach to felt? So I tried Velcro, and the Velcro worked pretty well for most of this stuff. But some of the heavier things like the movie and the game, they kept falling down. So I used the Velcro and the duct tape. But you know, duct tape's just going on the plastic, so it's not really harming anything at all. It might leave some residue on the felt itself, but I don't plan on really opening this back up. So it'll probably stay in there, hopefully. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on there and we'll see how it looks. Okay, I've got the back put on. And you can see what I did with the papers that I couldn't put in the display. I attached them to the back because I wanted the papers to stay with the game because, you know, it's one complete. I wanted to keep it all complete, right? So there's the folder, the original folder that it came with. And I just Velcroed it to the back here so I can get them out if I want to without opening everything. So I thought that was a good way to keep it all together. Okay, well here it is all finished and I'm pretty happy with it. It looks about like I wanted. It has the game, the certificate, the documentary, and a few pictures too. So I think it turned out pretty well. What do you think? Is there something you would have done better? Something different, maybe? There's a few other of these on YouTube if you want to check out what other people have done with their Atari Dig games. There's some really good ones out there. Okay, well that's all for today. I think my next video, as I said before, is going to be on Atari console. So if you want to look for that, that'll be coming up soon. Well, great. Have a fantastic day.